All right, guys, we're back. This ranking thing never stops. It's always adjustments, always something to do. We have to finish all of 1A tonight, but before we get into that, I think we have a couple corrections that we have to address. So, what do you got? I mean, I got the 126-pound weight class. We got to look at that. I think we failed to see. Our number fifth ranked kid, Zyler Hansen, got beat last week or the week before at the Sterling tournament in the finals. It was 8-8, and then a fall in the second period to the Rock Falls kid. So what do we do about that?
Well, let's visit my favorite weight class, 106, real fast. No correction or anything like that. Let me just tell you the potential matchup this Saturday at the Erie Holiday Tournament, which should Terry and Nair should see each other. Could see each other.
So 1 versus 2 could be
this Saturday at the Erie Holiday Tournament. Is that just what it's called for, buddy? Erie Holiday?
Yep. Okay. Down at Erie, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of good matchups down there. Riverdale's there, Erie's there. Newman's there. We're down there. Stockton, Lena's down there. There's a lot of good matchups down there. I think Rockridge is there. So there'll be a lot of good matches down there. A lot of ranked kids, a lot of placers meeting up with each other down there. So, good. But yeah, that'd be a tough day Saturday.
Good. Yeah, that'll be our first top ranked matchup then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And we had so 126 you're saying, right?
Yeah, I think that's the first one that I think we need to look at. And
are we referring to Kane Dauber?
We're referring to Kane Dauber, but specifically Zyler Hansen has suffered a loss this season to an unranked guy from Rock Falls at the Sycamore tournament or at the Sterling tournament.
Okay.
So we got to take Zyler off the list because Rock Falls is a single A school as well. So you can't be ranked higher than a guy that beat you.
And that's a regional matchup. So
yeah,
I mean, he just lost a seat at the regional.
Yeah,
essentially.
And I was told that it was a good match, and that kid from Rock Falls is a tough kid. So, I think what we do is we move Kane Dauber up to 5, and we revisit who we think should go in behind. And if we look at the Rock Falls kid, we can look at that if you want to, but I don't see. You go ahead, buddy. What were you got?
Well, I was just gonna say let's list what we have now since he's out.
Right now at the weight.
Yep. To start,
Okay, Tyson Waddle, Gavin Eckberg, Cooper Morris, Nick Marchese, Kane Dauber. And we got kids like names out there like Drew Sadler.
I was just gonna say you almost gotta throw Drew Sadler on the list then. I mean, he's a 3-time state qualifier and he has 2 state medals. He was third twice at 106. He qualified at 120, and if he's at 26 this year, I mean, I think the 106 to 120 jump might have got him maybe last year, and now he's only up to 126. So that's I think that's a kind of an easy slide in for me.
Got it. All right. Well, I don't think there was too much outside of that matchup, so I'm good with it. We can adjust as we go with that one. So
I did want to play with 157 for a minute. I'm trying to pull it up here.
We got Blake Smith, Aiden Larkin, Briar Ivy, Owen McGinnis, Wyatt Goosens, Chasen Kazimierzak.
Okay. All right. So we did have it. Okay. I think the kid maybe we forgot to mention, West Carroll kid, Cole Harrell. He's young gun. Yeah.
We did forget Cole.
Yeah. I don't know. I had his name in at 65, and then I think we got wrapped up in 65, and I just never went.
And Cole is Carroll, right?
Yeah, West Carroll.
West Carroll. Do you guys see West Carroll much? Do you know any? The hard part. I wish I had their lineup or their schedule See where we could see him at.
They have they're with Byron, Oregon, West Carroll, Byron, Oregon, and somebody else. I don't remember who else. I don't remember. Layman was talking about it. I don't remember the date on that one.
Okay.
But,
we don't see him till middle of January with Dakota. It's always our Dakota West Carroll triangular.
Got it. All right. Well, I think a lot of these weight classes we will revisit, but can't forget about Cole Harrell.
Yeah, and I think maybe too after, like I keep on saying, so much depends on Abe, Rumble, and Pitt. I think we revisit and we can maybe go 1 through 8, 1 through 10 even. We'll have so much more information.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
All right. Well, so we got through all the way through 65, and we have to start up now with 75. We previewed the individuals that we had in mind. I'll list them off in no particular order. We got Eli Larson, returning state finalist. Landon Benson, I believe, a returning state finalist.
I think he was the champ last year at 65.
Yep.
He was the champ at 65. Bowden Delaney was the returning finalist.
Correct.
Yep. At 65. Yep.
Ryan Rink, Blake Livedall, and Angel Zamora.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are we thinking that we should mention anybody else that has a legit argument to be in the mix?
Throw a name out, I guess. Let me.
Well, there's.
We got Jamison Chambliss.
I want to say I got the text that he's out for the season, injured.
Okay.
He was a qualifier at 190 last year, so if he was going to be coming down to 175, I see he's listed there. But if he's injured, I mean, I'm not sure why he's coming down from a weight class. It'd be tough there. Then I don't know if he just got squeezed out last year in a weight class, but Ryan Lauer from Rock Ridge, he's injured right now. It says. Definitely a name to bring up. He was a placer at 165 last year. He's only as a sophomore. He got 4th, so he's only a junior. I don't know what his extent as far as injury is, or if he's going to be out for the season, or how long. But that's definitely a name to bring up. Ryan Lauer from Rock Ridge.
Who? Sean Watkins. You know the name, or an Illini Bluff kid?
Sean Watkins.
Watkins did not place his state last year.
No, he qualified at 75.
I'm just kind of looking at me as a senior and at the same weight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean this weight class is tough because you have so much at the top 3 are all state finalists, state champ.
Sean Watkins went 0-2 at state last year. I got pinned twice.
All right.
So who do we give the nod? All right, let's just talk about some of these guys, right? Eli Larson, Landon Benson. Landon Benson, state champ, 165 last year. Eli Larson, state runner-up at 175. Just off of those two alone, what do you got, Jim?
Landon Benson's a senior. Eli's going to be a junior, or Eli's a junior.
Yep. Eli's he's the type of kid who he didn't stop. I think that he's hungry after the defeat and the finals last year. He doesn't stop working. I know he goes over. He trains at Elber Athletics in the postseason. He's a Fargo qualifier, 2-time Fargo qualifier now in freestyle. Even during football, he was an honor mention All-State, I believe. Even after football practices, he was going over and training with Josh and the guys in the preseason as well. He competed all summer. He's the guy that's, he's the leader in the room, in our Stockton leader room. So he's fun to watch. He likes to score points. He likes to go out there and wrestle. Like I said, wrestle and score points, and you can tell he's having fun doing it too. So. He's got a little bit more. I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder. I don't know. I mean, obviously. So,
well, I was just saying, do you give the guy who was the returning state finalist at the same weight class, or do you give the returning state champ the nod as far as, because they don't have any head-to-head? Benson,
no.
was 65 last year, so they didn't wrestle. Yeah, who do you give the nod to for that, Jim? What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, here's the deal. You'd almost have to discuss the between Bowden, Delaney, Eli Larson first. I think Benson gets it out of seniority. He's going to be this, I mean, he's the state champion. He's a senior.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, that's, I mean, ideally, I mean, we're looking at, returning at higher position, rightfully so. He has the one, he's one carrying the belt right now, realistically. So, you can go there. I mean, you can almost say Landon Benson, returning champ, he can almost get the 1 seed. I mean, and honestly, that's how we're doing this right now. And I say that's about fair. That's about as fair as it comes, to be honest. And I'm an Eli fan. I work out with him, but
easy to be a fan of Eli. Awesome kid. Yeah,
I mean, this is just how we're doing it too. Like all the
similar to
stuff. This is kind of our criteria, how we're breaking this down. So, we're sticking to it through all the weights, and like I say, he's one of my kids, and I'm still gonna, we still got to kind of go with the defending champ as number 1.
Yeah. And so if we go down the list and we give Benson the 1, Larson the 2, Delaney the 3, now we got Ryan Rink, Blake Livedall, Angel Zamora to figure out. Now I just watched Blake Livedall wrestle at the East tournament. He got second. He lost to Casillas from Muhammad Seymour. Now Muhammad Seymour's a 2A, so the loss isn't within the same class, but it was a match that came down to the last seconds. So it was a good match for 175.
Angel Zamora is a how do you want to say it? He's going to go for big points. Like right now, and he's a big run. He's a big hitter. Last year I watched him. He scored a lot of big points. Put it that way. He pinned a lot of kids by, from his feet, basically. Not so much a grinder, but more of he's going to hit some home run moves. So, I mean, and then you bring him in as a returning placer at this weight as well.
3-time placer, right? State placer 3 times?
No, negative. He's a qualifier 160 and 23, and then he placed last year at 75.
I get you.
Yep, 4th at 75. So I think you give Zamora the 4.
Yep.
All right.
I mean,
what did Ryan Rinks? Go ahead.
He got 5th at 165.
What did Ryan Rinks a runner up at what weight?
Ryan Rink was a 5th at 165 last year, and then a qualifier at 152 and 23.
Okay.
So I think that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there.
Yep. And if you're throwing Livedall in, I think you throw Livedall in at 6. Yeah,
Livedall's definitely. I think he'll out wrestle that seed, I believe. But I mean, this is the top 6. I don't know that there's probably a number 7 kid that's just as good.
Well,
yeah. Well, like I say,
I don't know who yet.
I'm still curious on the Rock Ridge Lauer injury. Okay. How long he's going to be out, or if he's going to be returned this year. So I mean, that could be some paperwork for us to figure out someday too. You say he was a placer at 65 last year, and if that rolls in, that could be that's almost if he were to come back, that's a lot of medals in the top 6 right there.
Yeah. Which is really, really cool.
Yeah, that's a tough bracket. That's gonna be fun to watch.
So we go in with Landon number 1, and then who got number 2, Eli or Bowden?
Eli.
Okay.
So I think you give the state champ 1. I think you give the 2nd place he's returning at the same weight, and Bowden Delaney is moving up to new weight class, and then you got Zamora, who's returning placer at the same weight. Ryan Rink, placer from the weight below, and Livedall is the new man to join the ranks.
Okay. And Livedall is the one that we talked about. He's a freshman, sophomore state champ.
Okay.
So,
Okay, he won the fresh soft state champ.
Yes. Yep.
All right, cool. I think that's a good top 6.
I think Ryan Rink wins it on appearance. They have Unity has like the hockey jerseys as their like warm ups. I think that's so cool, man. Like they have their weight as their number on the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's as a hockey guy. You're a hockey guy.
Yeah, and Ryan, last name Rink. I talked to his dad. His dad's a hockey guy. I've been talking to his dad for years.
Yeah.
Super cool people. Ryan's been. I just remember. I think he was like winning. Midwest Nationals and stuff like that back in the IK days. He was just always seeing places.
Yeah. Well, great. That'll be good. I think that's a good starting point for that, and we'll see how that goes. All right, let's move on to the next one, 190 pounds. We've got the number 3 kid in the country, Jimmy Mastney, your boy, my boy. And I just think I think he's a clear favorite. He I was just thinking about what he did. He went to Super 32. He was in the blood round. He lost. He got back home, went to Iowa, found there was a couple nationally ranked guys, went and wrestled those guys, beat those guys. Got to the season, goes to Ironman, loses 1 match, wrestles all the way back to 3rd, and he's the talk of the town as far as out there. The way that he competed, the way that he wrestled back, I think, he's a nationally ranked kid in single A state. And I think he's a clear favorite. So,
well said, Dalton. Well said. No, you can't argue that one. That's gonna be that's pretty tough to argue there. I mean,
and I don't know much about this, the 2nd through 10. So, you guys will have to fill me in. I know Unity, I believe. Jim, you were telling me Unity's got a couple. These guys are returning tough kids.
Yeah. So Hunter Easton, he'd be the last year state champ at 190.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the Oregon kid was a third place at 190s last year as well.
Maddox Anderson.
Anderson.
Yep.
Okay, so they're returning. Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Right at the same weight.
Yep, and then the Vandalia kid is actually returning back at that weight with a 4th place finish. So Anderson beat the Vandalia kid, Tidwell, for 3rd and 4th last year. So right there, you have your top 4. In my opinion, you have a 1, 3, 4 returning at that weight class.
Yeah,
underneath of Jimmy.
Yeah, I have Hunter Easton as returning as a state champ. Maddox 3rd place, Tidwell 4th place. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then whoever was a runner-up, I'm assuming graduated.
Who was the runner-up in that bracket last year at 190?
At 190, Brody Coopernell from Champaign.
Okay.
Oh, St. Thomas More.
Yeah, St. Thomas More.
Okay. Yep, he was a senior, 35-4, 5-2 decision. Okay. I'm gonna, I gotta throw Oliver McPeak in this conversation as well. Oliver, he didn't get a chance to wrestle the state series last year. He hurt his elbow at the Erie tournament, put him out. He's gonna try and come back the week of regionals. He beat last year. He beat the Byron kid who was a returning placer, I think 3rd. So he had some credentials. He qualified for Fargo this year. He won a match or 2 out there. Same thing. He trained a lot in the off season. He's working out extra. He just tech fall the number 8 ranked kid in 3A from Glenbard North. So, I mean, that's a pretty impressive win on his aspect too. So, I mean, that alone, the number 8 ranked kid.
And another Albers kid, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Albers trained kid.
Yep. He's over there training with Josh and everybody as well in the preseason, postseason. He's been there for a few years now too. So I think since he started up the program even. So he's tough. I like to have seen what he could have done last year. The Oregon kid beat him last year. I think it was 8-4. But they'll hopefully see each other Saturday as well in the finals down at Erie. So that could be another highly ranked match down at Erie.
Which kid will he face?
Oliver McPeak should face the Anderson from Oregon.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. Well, the other kid in consideration is the Cade Poyer from Coal
Mhm.
City.
Correct.
He was not a state placer last year, and so I think at that point, we're kind of just making our own expectation, right? Because they're
What, what,
both in the same position.
what is
Yeah.
Avery Bowers from Dakota? Has he done anything special this year?
Is he at 90 or 215 though?
Who I believe he's a 90 pounder.
Is he 90 pounder?
I think so. I think that was his plan at least.
Okay. Not sure what all they've even done as a team yet, as far as where they've gone. Cade Pointer last year. Let's see here. He went 1-2. I guess he beat Barry down at state last year for Quentin Barry from Oregon. I guess we didn't see Pointer at all as far as us wrestling, and Oliver was out at 190, and Jeremiah Luke slid in the lineup and made state. So we didn't see the Coal City kid, but Avery Bauer, I'm not sure what like I say. I haven't seen much results in them guys yet this year.
Avery
So,
Bauer lost to Jarrett Ross from Byron. Major decision at 215, 14-6.
Oh, that was last year?
No, that was the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So Avery Bowers, I don't think can be considered.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was at 90. I don't.
Yeah, I thought he was up at 215. So
yeah, well, this was December 10th. Yep, Byron versus Dakota.
Mhm.
So
and Oliver took third at the Fresh Off tournament last year. He only matched he lost. He only gave up 2 takedowns in the whole tournament in the whole series, and that was the match he lost. And
now is this McPete? Is Oliver related to Randy?
They're all their parents are cousins.
Okay.
Oh,
I got you.
There's
I was just looking. I saw McPete.
Huge,
and I'm like, which one?
There's
is
a huge branch of them. So
got it.
His dad Andy was a state champ back in '93. Andy McPeak was so.
All right. Well, here's the thing. We can put McPete at 5 and Poyer at 6. And that one's going to have to sort itself out. Maybe I think if you show me Poyer beats any of the 3A ranked guys, then maybe I would argue against it. But because I don't necessarily know that, I'll give you the McPete at 5.
Okay.
Jim, what do you think? You got it?
I won't touch this one just out of pure, I won't get too involved just out of pure, whatever that's called, it'd be a homer.
And really, like you say, those 5 and 6 can be either way right now. But, like you say, they're both should be mentioned, I think, too. One's a qualifier, one's working his butt off. You say he just beat a 3A, Tech Fall 3A kid. So a 3A range kid, sorry.
And does Orion go to Abe's?
You know what? I'm not sure. I think so. I'm pretty sure they do.
Okay.
But
because everybody here, potentially everybody could see everybody down at Abe's.
Somewhere along the line, we'll see a lot of matchups at Abe's. Abe's is just
Yeah.
So it's the inevitability. That's the great beauty of it. All right, let's jump to 215. 215.
Yep.
We've got Chaplin, Duarte, Fisher, Scott, Tidwell, Turner, Alamo, Abney. You guys got any knowledge on this one?
Let me throw
Jeremiah Luke. I just saw Jeremiah Luke wrestle. Obviously, he's another Stockton Lena kid, and I like this kid. I like how he wrestles. I saw how he wrestled. Very fundamentally sound. Where was he at last year? What did he and he went last year?
Yeah, he went 1 and 2 at 190 last year.
Got it.
He was on the verge of not making the lineup actually, until Oliver got hurt because of just the way the bracket laid out. We had a senior at 215, Mike Hass, who's a 2-time state qualifier at 215. Mike was a big, strong kid. Just limited mat time. He's a football guy, but he kind of come out and I think he started out in like 8th grade. But anyway,
if we start with Drake Chaplin was a returning finalist. He lost to Noah Wenzel last year at 215. And
yep, and he's a 2-time qualifier before that at 220. So he's been at the same weight wrestling. Big tall kid, gonna underhook you, jack you up, and not very many times you see a 215-pounder leg ride either.
Got it.
Who's that, Chaplin?
Yep.
Okay.
And
our guy, Marion, Dan French, he wrestled 190 last year. He'll be 215 this year. Dan French he's another one. He's going to be extremely athletic on the 215 side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had some good wins last year.
Yeah.
Just to continue on the list, that Alejandro Duarte, he was 5th place at 215 last year. So he's returning state placer.
Mm-hmm.
And what did Aiden Fisher do last year?
He did not place.
Okay.
And then yeah, that sucks. Well, that sucked. But yeah, our guy Mike beat the Kiwani kid at sectionals, and I don't know if he beat the Orion kid or not. Didn't see him, but I think Jeremiah beats the Kiwani kid. I mean, Jeremiah could, the way he's wrestling right now, the way he's built, and the way he's working. He's got that Navy SEAL aspect of, Marine kind of mentality in him, that he's just kind of relentless, goes at you. Doesn't really care who's in the circle with him either right now.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's how he won. That's how he qualified for state last year in that overtime match, right?
Yep. Yeah. He just didn't stop wrestling.
Stop wrestling.
Yep.
That was a great match to watch.
It was.
I
got like that high off the ground.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I missed an opportunity. That match,
Yeah.
I remember I stopped recording and then it happened and I'm like, what was I thinking? So that was a great moment. I do remember it. So after the top two, I think everybody else is kind of up in the air. State qualifiers, no clear head-to-head matchups.
No. No, I don't think we have any head-to-head matchups. Again, we should be able to see a Luke Fisher match this weekend at Erie as well. Like I say, there's a lot of there's a big list of state qualifiers in this bracket. Fisher, Turner, the Dominic Eleno from Reed Custer, Caitlin Scott, Quincy Notre Dame, Jeremiah Luke, Keller Stocks, Mount Zion, and Dan French from Marion are all state qualifiers in this list too. So there's a big list of state qualifiers in here where there's going to be a few guys hunting for their first medal.
Well, will you tell me what's Aiden Fisher's bracket look like at state last year? Where was his?
He was at 215.
Okay. What was his record?
Let's see here. The Orion kid. Let's see here. Where we at? He got 4th at the sectional. He was 40-13 overall last year, and went 2-2. He lost to the Kiwani kid in the blood round.
Duarte. All right. Well, I think this is the weight class. This is where we get to make our expert predictions, right? Mm-hmm. We got inside knowledge with Buddy obviously inside knowledge too. I watched Jeremiah Luke, right? I watched him wrestle. He looks physically just more mature and just in a solid position in that weight class. Aiden Fisher and him will get a match this weekend. So that kind of gives us the suspense of whether or not we're right. So maybe we take a shot. You put Jeremiah Luke up at number 3 and Aiden Fisher behind him and Alamo behind that. And we need a number 6. And we'll see after this weekend whether or not our rankings are correct.
Yeah. We're at Dvorak.
Did Frenchie wrestle any of the Zion or any of them guys at 190 last year? Let me see real quick.
He didn't qualify. He lost in the blood round, right? At sectionals, Jim?
No, Jeremiah beat him for 3rd and 4th.
Oh, so he did qualify.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he lost a pointer.
Okay,
Frenchie
so
lost pointer
French
right
is a
away.
qualifier.
Yep. He went 1-2 is all. So same as Jeremiah last year, 1-2 a state in that bracket.
Well, Jim, what's Jimmy say about him? You think he's the guy to put at
Yeah.
6?
Yeah, oh, definitely. French is the guy. I mean, he's, you know what I mean? Like, if we're just, without getting too deep into who he's with or who he's training with and who he's being coached by, well, I can say he's very well coached. Right?
Yeah.
I can say that
I mean,
without
that's a pretty good coaching staff. Ryan Prater, Jordan Blanton. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty tough.
Well, I was taking Jimmy's advice. I mean, if Jimmy says he's number 6, he's number 6. If he's training with Jimmy and he can respond, I think that's a good. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to wrestle Jimmy for 2 years. So if he hasn't quit already, then I think he's probably a lot better. So I mean,
yeah, no, French make him number 6 for sure.
All right, yeah, and let it ride. I mean, at this point, this weight class is a little bit tougher just because it's they're all qualifiers. You know,
Yeah,
there's no returning state champ. There's 2 returning state placers. They can stay at the top 2, and now we'll mix it up after that. So
yeah, and like I said, we'll be at Dvorak this weekend, so he's gonna see some kids at 215. You know,
yeah, and really good 215 3A
Right.
Yep.
nationally tournament. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's move on. Let's go to heavyweight. Now, Jim, you told me you have the lock on heavyweight. You know what's going on with the big boys.
I do remember Buddy saying last year, it's like everybody's wrestling for second.
Yeah.
This is one of those heavy. This is gonna Jason Dowell from Althoff.
Okay, he's returning state champ.
Yep.
Mhm.
And he's the one who had the best interview. You see, remember the interviews they did afterwards? Paul
Garcia.
Yeah. His
I don't-
interview's super cool, if that's who I'm thinking of.
I don't remember the interview, but he's probably definitely the most athletic heavyweight. I mean, I watched him play football in the state game this year too, and I think he's got a D1 commit to play football. And he was third. He was third the year before, so he's got third in the first, and then the Jalen Torres kid is going to be, potentially a state finals rematch as well. But it was heavyweight. Who's going to get a takedown in heavyweight? That's all. Heavyweight matches are going to be who can get a takedown. 90% of the matches in heavyweight come down to a takedown, or who gets his first point to secure the ultimate tiebreaker. I mean, that's in a lot of these matches, that's what it is. A lot of these heavyweight matches are. You look at the state bracket from last year, there is probably 4 or 5 matches, 3-1, 3-2, 4-3. There are a lot of the state finals was 2-1, and I went against the Dowell and Torres match was a 2-1 match, and it was an escape and 2 escapes and a penalty point. So that wasn't even a takedown match.
Right. So wait, Jalen Torres was the finalist last year with Dowell, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we're gonna have to go 1 and 2 there, no doubt.
Yeah, and Odell was 4.
Okay. So that's a pretty clear.
And McCarthy was 5th.
Where is let's just get this kid's name.
And that was the Dowell and Odell match was the same way. The Belleville Althoff kid, he won that match in the quarters the same way. He got an escape in the second, third period. Odell got an escape, and then there's a stall call. So he won on a stall call.
Interesting. Well, so Jim, I know what you want to bring up. We got a dark horse. This is the dark horse, and I think I agree with you in the sense that I watched him wrestle. He is physically he is physically put together. He is a dark horse. So tell me about your dark horse. Caleb
Reamer. We saw him the other night when I did the broadcast at the Oregon Lena Erie Prophetstown. Sophomore out of Erie Prophetstown. He was just. First, he checked in at the table. He thought I was somebody because I was wearing corduroy pants. So he's like, well, this guy's got to be important. He come up, he's super polite. And then he goes out there and he's a stud. You know what I mean? Which is just.
Only a sophomore and not much body fat on him.
Yeah.
No.
And he wrestled hard. He can.
Yeah.
He wrestled not to win overtime. He wrestled to win, by scores. And he broke the Oregon kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Briggs Sellers is legit.
Yeah.
Heavyweight. Remember, that's the kid with all the chest hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yep. And so we got, I think he's a good dark horse to put in there. Yeah, do you got any others from the list? I know
Randy McPeak, Dakota. Randy McPeak is this is his year, I think. Randy McPeak is. I talking to Vinny the other day. He said he's really put together this year, and he's wrestling winger in the room every day. So,
Matt.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So who's gonna be meaner than that?
Yeah. Well, and McPeak won, or McPeak took third place at the Rockford East tournament. Who did he lose to?
I think he even got third at the Dvorak last year, third or fourth at Dvorak, if I remember right. So, I mean, he placed pretty high at the Dvorak last year. He just kind of had a bad sectional. Yeah, I mean, but the sectional was pretty tough. You had that St. Francis of Taurus, Odell, and who else was in that sectional? I think
the Galena kid that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, the Galena kid that came out of nowhere. My Cinderella story last year.
Yeah.
I think I picked him in the sectional bracket last year. Unfortunately, the Galena kid I heard is not wrestling this year. He hurt his back in football, which is too bad. I mean, that was cool. It was a first-year wrestler for a program that just built back up, a first-year program that they had since the early 80s. So that was cool to see him succeed for the program, for their young coaches. But unfortunately, he has other things in mind in his life and is recovering from, an injury. So now I think it's a disc issue in the back too. So those things don't really just go away.
Okay.
Yeah. But then we also have who else?
What about Roy Phelps? Hope Academy.
Roy Phelps, senior from Hope Academy. He was 6th at 285 last year. And then David McCarthy from De La Salle was a 5th at 285 last year. So the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 are all returning from this weight.
Yeah.
You have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So I mean, right there's 5 wrestlers that we kind of got to go with our top 5.
I did get I got a message about a heavyweight, and I'm trying to think who it was from, and I didn't have the number saved, so that's kind of what's throwing me off. But I think there was a heavyweight that was.
Well, the tough part about this is what Buddy just said, right? So the top 5 are all returning placers. The number 6 is the dark horse, Caleb Reimer, the guy who's left over. Now, you can say no, and you can put somebody else in there, but William Anderson, you're saying, is out.
Yep.
And Randy McPeak, I have to double check, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he lost at the Rockford East tournament.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then Jared Clouch from Byron is back. I didn't realize that. He was a state qualifier at 220, 23 state qualifier last year at 285 as well.
Yeah. So
I'm not sure where that fell in as far as if they wrestled at the sectional or the regional. They would maybe they were in the same regional and sectional last year.
Let me get that.
I think Randy McPeak and the Byron kid wrestled this year.
Oh, they would have, yes.
Oh, let me look at those results. I just had that. Byron versus Dakota. Randy McPeak over Clonch, fall, 4 minutes and 25 seconds.
Okay. That clears that up.
Yep.
So maybe, Randy Pinn's a 2-time state qualifier. Like Jim said, if he's proven himself, he did have a loss at the Rockford East tournament, but who was it to? Was it
I'm looking at
there's some big schools there. So I mean, like we talked about, in a lighter weight, does a loss to a 3A team, or 2A team knock you down the list as much? Not really in your 1A bracket.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. you know, you can't count Dakota. You know, Randy, he's fallen short a couple times. His brother Maverick was a state champ. I'm sure Maverick's in the room wrestling with him and Matt. So, yeah, I would slide Randy in at a 6, and we bring our Erie Prophetstown guy in.
Okay. So he lost. So McPete lost in actually the first round to Isaiah Tillado from Zion Benton. Is that Zion Benton? Let me look that up. I'm pretty sure that is.
Is that like Benton, the town Benton?
ZB. So I'm looking this up. Yeah, Isaiah Tillado from Zion Benton. So that's a single A kid. He won the Rockford East tournament. He beat Smith from. I don't even know from. Yeah, so he beat Smith from Sun Prairie West, which is a Wisconsin team, and then in the finals he beat Mola from Hampshire. So I think, I mean, right there, he's from Zion Benton, right? I mean, that's a single A kid.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Man, you know,
Isaiah Tillado. I think he's the guy.
What did he do last year?
Let me look.
Or what weight was he at last year?
Yeah, I don't even have him listed anywhere.
Stud freshman, maybe.
Yeah, he was not a state placer. So, I mean, again, this is the trouble with heavyweight. I mean, it could be a different match the next time, but I mean, what are you putting on? If you can't, Jim, if you can't put Randy McPete at 6, are you putting Caleb Reimer at 6? Do you think he makes it to the state tournament and surprises everyone?
He's in our sectional, right? Let's talk about our sectional real fast at heavyweight then.
So it's Claunch, McPete, Reimer,
Torres, Odell.
So Odell and Torres, we have to give them 1 and 2 at sectionals, right? Just on past.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
so many goods not going.
I'm pretty sure Torres is at our sectional, wasn't he?
Torres was Althoff?
No, not Althoff.
No. So Torres, Odell, Reimer, Claunch, and McPete. Yep, you're right. Somebody's not going.
I think McPeak's going. Like I say, Dakota kid, he'll be ready.
In the way the brackets fall, somebody might see each other in the blood round. Yep. where our Erie kid could sneak in.
And our heavyweight buckets, Caleb Ekman, he can beat any heavyweight at any point in time. Like he's got a gas tank that heavyweights don't have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'll stand in there. He's not. Buckets is good. Buckets is like cardio Kane Vasquez. You know what I mean? He's good, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to do. I think if you think McPete is the guy, I think you put Tillado in at 6 because he beat him.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, so McPeak's got to win over the Byron kid, and then Toledo's got to win over McPeak. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. I mean, that's just facts, I guess. No feelings, just facts.
Yeah. Just results. And we got to be specific. We got to be
and again,
with results.
We're basing off head-to-heads and previous results right now. And like we talked about earlier, to prove us wrong. Please do. By all means.
I mean, I can tell you the score if you want to know. Tillado got a takedown in the first period. McPete got an escape. Tillado chose down, got an escape, got another takedown. It's 4-1. McPete goes down in the third. He gets an escape. Tillado gets another takedown. Wins 10-2. I mean, this guy is a scoring machine from Zion Benton.
Boy, if you're scoring takedowns in heavyweight,
3 takedowns, one each period.
And like I said before, takedown or heavyweights are usually based on who can get one takedown.
Yeah.
That's So if you're getting 3 takedowns in a match, you're athletic and you're scoring some points.
Yeah, and I did not get to watch the heavyweight match, the finals, because they were doing two finals at the same time. So I was watching the 106, not the 285. So I didn't get to look at them. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. We'll leave Tolado there. He's got the win over McPete. That sectional down in Oregon is going to have a few kids left home that could be definitely in the mix at heavyweight. So we'll seal it up there. I think we've completed the 1A rankings. You guys have any last thoughts on the 1A?
Yeah, I think anybody that's like, we're only doing top 6, so don't if you're a number 7 or 8 guy, you could be a number 1 or 2 guy come state, right? Like, it's not there's just such a lack of information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I almost feel bad leaving some of these kids out that are
great wrestlers,
right?
Yeah, there's a lot of kids on here that put work in, put time in, have good results and plenty of good tournaments. We are simply basing this off of previous state results, some head-to-head matches, and just some small, and early tournaments. Exactly. And there's some big tournaments. There's a lot of wrestling going on this year. So
yeah. Well, this weekend we're going to learn a lot, right?
Yeah. There's Dvorak, there's Erie, Abe's is next weekend, the Pitt's next weekend, next coming weekend. So, I mean, just before January, first weekend of January, we're gonna have all kinds of info.
Yeah, and we have the opportunity after these next couple of weeks to extend that list from, say, top 6. We can go as far as we need to if we have a list of worthy athletes.
Well, yeah, at 106 I have top 70, top 75.
There's only 50 kids registered at 106.
Yeah, we got a barn burner at the weight class. All right, guys. Well, I think we finished that up. That was a great first opportunity at the 1A, and we'll get back at it probably next week after these tournaments conclude and kind of reevaluate each weight class. But thanks again, guys, and we will get back again soon.